Hello viewers, we are here once again to give you the latest news and updates in and around the country like we always do it. But today we don't have, the update we have for you today is not a very good one, but we are going to give it to you nonetheless. You are welcome to News Trend. Okay, so like I said, we have an update for you today and it's not very palatable. I'm sure that by now you must have heard of the incidents that happened at Ibadan. To be more specific, the Alakia area of Ibadan, where a father who was driving his sons because they were twins, driving his sons for an examination, WAEC examination to be precise, took a wrong turn, which we call one way, took a wrong turn, and he refused. He was being chased by operatives, and he refused. It was a whole drama that we saw in that video. But at the end of the day, his son got hit by a stray bullet. They were trying to stop him somehow. They shot the car. He hit the son. The son died. Very, very pitiful. Very, very pitiful. Today, we are going to be talking about what happened, why it happened, what ensued, what should not have gone wrong, what went wrong. And of course, I'm here with my usual co-host and guest, Mr. Dotun Alade. You're welcome once again.
Thank you for having me. Though it's not good news, like you said. I'm also very, very unhappy.
Yes, it is sad indeed. So where do we start from, sir? Where do we go from here?
Well, I think we should start from the beginning. And I'm happy about one thing. And that's the fact that virtually everything that transpired was on camera.
It was caught, yes, caught on video.
And, it was an issue we raised somewhere yesterday, where I was on a live TV program. And we were speaking with the chairman of the Police Trust Fund. That it is time that our police operatives will start having body cam. Just like they do elsewhere.
Yes.
So that at every point when we have issues like this, we can always review it. In fact, the body cam will not just be something to play back. It is something that is being fed into a system in the police ICT department, which you can watch live. You can see every police officer on duty.
But the downside, I'm sure they'll be turning that off.
They won't be able to turn it on. It is a rule. Once broken, go and when you watch some of these American movies involving the police, you'll see that when things go wrong, even when nothing goes wrong and the body cam goes off, that police officer is reprimanded. It's a must. It must be on 24/7. I don't want to hear it went off. No, it must be on. Even when there are no issues to discuss, it mustn't be on off for a second. So, but beyond that, the issues. Two sides to every story.
Yes.
The first side we had, when we did not have better information, was that policemen were chasing 419s, which you call Yahoo boys, and that a policeman released a shot that missed the Yahoo boy, but hit a boy who was going for his examination. But now we have a better perspective. And for our readers who are not up to date, up to speed with what happened, let's just recount it. The way it really happened after we got information. There was a man taking his children to school, identified now as Odunwayo Alade. And what he did was that he drove against traffic, which we popularly call one way here in Nigeria. He drove against traffic. that is on its own an
An
offense.
offense.
When he drove against traffic, operatives of the Oyo Road Maintenance Road Traffic Agency, OYRTA, wanted to apprehend him alongside police operatives who were in other vehicles. There are about 4 vehicles these law enforcers were using for that patrol. This man started meandering, reversing, trying to run away. In the process, it damaged not just his own car, but also those of the operatives. That for me is crazy. And you knew you had 2 kids in your
the car. Ha!
What? No, before we even go to the lessons to learn from it, because I've always maintained that parents shouldn't engage in things, in stuff like that, in the presence of children.
Of your children.
So,
you know?
but I mean, let's recount it.
Them?
He meandered, damaged his own car, damaged those of the operatives, and one of the policemen, in the bid to stop him, he wanted to aim for his tire, was aiming for his tire, but that thing went into the bumper of that undercar and right into the body of Kehinde, with tire sitting by his side. And then the man stopped after the other child told him that there was a problem. And even after he was told that there was a problem, when he came down, rather than allow that child to first be taken care of, because from the video that we saw, the child was alive. He was alive, yes. The man went fighting the policemen. And they were telling him, let's take this child to the hospital. But he was fighting the policeman. That child was alive. And from what they said, it was as a result of loss of blood that he died. So it's sad really that sad. We got to that point in this country. And for me, I think both sides are to blame, if you ask me. Number one, the dad. What have you as a father? Let's assume that they weren't even able to catch up with you. What have you taught those children? Will you not be telling them, that's me. You can't say the way your dad drove.
James Bond.
And I've always said to myself, even when your children are not there, comport yourself when you are driving. That's why I like Lagos. Lagos started earlier than Oyo State. Oyo State is trying to catch up. Drive against traffic. Your car is impounded. It is sold. It is not given back to you. And then you go for psychiatric test.
Evaluation, yes.
Which you are going to pay for. It is not as if selling your car is the only punishment you are going to suffer from the court or the mobile court sometimes. You are still going to pay a fine on it. And when people came and said, it's too punitive, is this? It's part of what we are seeing now. Because before this incident on May 20, 2025, the report the government got from residents of those areas was that people driving against traffic were eating, knocking down their children, and even adults. So that was why they made it a rule that those operatives must ply that area, especially in the mornings when people are going to work. And the thing I found curious was this. Every examination that WAEC, West African Examination Council, conducts, I know, starts at about 9 a.m. School resumes at 8 a.m. This incident happened at 7:30 a.m. Meaning that the man had sufficient time to have gone to make a U-turn at the proper place and still get those children to school before 8. Because we all know, except some areas in Ibadan, the area we are talking about is not a loud area. Its traffic is always free, especially in the morning.
Yes, it didn't look like there was...
we are talking of the Alade area, where you have the international airport, or the airport itself, which they are trying to make international. for now. Except you are talking about the area where you have the new Gbagi, which is somehow with traffic in the morning, but maybe from 8, 9, 10, when people resume their trading, that area is largely free. So where was he rushing to? Meaning that it tells us one thing: he's a perpetual lawbreaker. That's the, you know, a lot of times we react to issues from the point of sentiment. I also hate the fact that that boy is gone, but his father killed him.
His father did kill him.
Because if he had not taken that one way, there would have been no need to shoot. Seriously. That's my conclusion. The father
at the point that he was even
killed him.
Stop! Why was he
driving? Trying to maneuver, and you are saying that these people
damaging his car, hey. Honestly.
It beats me. It really, really beats me. And then you now even have the guts to even be talking to the media that they killed you. I'd be so ashamed. Extremely ashamed to even talk to anybody about the kind of stupidity I exhibited. I suspect that he didn't know there was a video that captured him from the point of breaking that law.
Yes.
That's my suspicion. Because he will be so ashamed of himself now, seeing that he was caught even damaging his own car.
Damaging his car. Like,
you would have stopped. These are human beings.
And I'm sure
worst that will
children
happen,
would have been saying something.
they would even have been scared.
They would have been scared. Like, daddy,
but also, don't let us leave it. That could be the attribute of that man in his own. Maybe his family doesn't even have a voice. The way he was fighting on the street with those policemen showed me clearly that he's a man of violence. You alone dragging 5 policemen at once. Maybe even in his house, those children can't offer him any advice. Because I don't see myself, even when not with my children, taking one way. I love it that even as journalists, the Lagos State Governor, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, said it emphatically to editors, publishers, everybody. You can beg for anything in Lagos, but don't beg for people to take one way. Don't. Because these are the kind of things that we see. I've been a victim in Ibadan. I'm trying to get the exact day now. About 1980-81. I was going to go across the road. I looked on the other side where traffic was supposed to be coming from. I was on this side. So I looked to my right. There was no traffic. But here, there was some build-up. So I passed in between 2 cars in the traffic. I didn't look to my left.
Because you're not expecting.
Because I wasn't expecting anybody from there. And here was this army truck that threw me off completely.
Oh, wow.
Completely. I had my hand strapped for several weeks. But those guys did the right thing. They quickly stopped, and they were the ones who took me to the hospital.
That was 1981.
How do we continue that kind of lifestyle?
That's why they say in Lagos, when you are crossing, it doesn't matter whether
No.
You must look both ways.
You know, in Lagos,
we are not expecting
in Lagos, see, and in Nigeria now. Wait, in Lagos and in Nigeria, you look left, you look right, you look up. To be sure that
nothing is falling.
Beyond that,
oh my God.
It beats my imagination that somebody will do that kind of thing. You've been caught on the wrong side of the law, and then you are now trying to escape.
You are not trying to escape.
What point are you proving? Nothing. Completely.
And then the deed has been done. You didn't
even allow
take your child to the hospital.
That's the first thing you should have done. And good news is you are with policemen. Okay, there is a bullet wound. The policemen are sent to the hospital. Treat this boy. He was still alive until he was put inside his own car. Yes. And those few minutes could have made a difference in that boy's life.
And you know another thing that I noticed that is also a lesson to be learned from that situation is the fact that we don't have a response what do I call it in this country? You know, there's something that could have been done as first aid for that boy before getting to the hospital.
Unfortunately, most of our law enforcers,
from loss of blood,
are not even trained in these things.
You know,
and sometimes, because of the way things happen, the best of us can actually run out of ideas because of the panic involved. If I was at that scene, I'm not sure, even if I would have stayed. I don't like blood.
Exactly.
I don't. If I had my way, after our second child, we would not have had a third one. Because it was by CS. And unfortunately for me, I was too curious to stay away. I went to peep it, and I saw.
Curiosity did what?
I could have taken off, despite the fact that I know I could offer some assistance. So sometimes it happens to the best of us. But at that point, their best bet was to take him to the hospital. Everybody together.
At that point,
and instead of even the policemen and the road traffic agency officials of Oyo State, they should have allowed him to display his madness. They should have taken off at that point with the boy. They shouldn't have insisted on putting him in the father's car. That was not the only vehicle that was there. You people had about 4. You had about 4. You could have made a difference.
Attended to them faster if they had.
Yes, with the policemen. Yes. Because the policeman would have said, yes, we'll bring the report, but start treating this boy. This is my ID card. It would have made a lot of difference. And to the policeman, or to the police force in its entirety, what we have been told over time, which we have been promised, is the fact that anytime people are going on such operations where they have to deal with civilians and perhaps may need to unleash some shots, we should have rubber bullets. It incapacitates. It's not as if it can damage a tire. It can do so. Where has that been all these years that we've been talking about it? Each time we have this kind of situation, whether the firing is accidental or knowingly done, we come back to this issue. Why must we use live bullets? You know, on occasions like this, we've spoken about it. We've had the debate. We've done this up and down. Nothing is hard at every point in time. Why are we like this? And it's number 1 for me. Number 2, over time, we've seen that some civil society organizations, some countries, they come in, they teach military personnel, police personnel about the fact that every offender, whether you catch him koro like this, is presumed innocent in the eyes of the law. And the law of common sense states to us, until when a man is found guilty by a competent court of law, is presumed innocent. Where did that happen? And the law of common sense also says to us, it is better for you to allow 10 thieves to escape than to kill an innocent one, even if he's a thief. Because he must be found guilty first. Yes, anger must also be treated in the we've said it could be anger because of the way the man was damaging their vehicles, maneuvering and thinking it will escape.
I don't think the policeman was trying to kill the man.
He wasn't trying to kill the man, but he used a live bullet.
Yes.
That's the point.
Well, because that's what was in the gun. So
because that's what I'm saying. If you had rubber bullet, that's what they should have used.
Yes.
When you look at the point where that bullet hit the car, I don't know if you've seen that video.
I did see it.
You'll see it's at the point where you have the bumper towards the lower part of the car, meaning that as the Oyo State government said in a statement by the chief press secretary of Governor Seyi Makinde, that's Dr. Suleiman Larawadi, the attempt was to eat the tire, deflate it, and force the man to stop. But unfortunately, which we have said over time, most of the things that we watch in James Bond, that they will say the man was 30 meters away and he shot at home.
When it's not Indian film, you know it's Indian film.
Most of those things are not practicable.
Yes. I think that they should talk that as well. That when it's a few meters or whatever, you don't attempt.
Any moving object.
Yes.
Any moving
attempt to shoot. Find other ways.
If you recollect, I once said while we had that discussion that anybody who has held a gun before and fired one will know that what goes out does not even only affect the person you are aiming at. It affects you because it's strong. I praise the courage of people who go into battles like that, especially as soldiers. Because to fire one bullet and keep firing at an enemy, even on the battlefront, it's not easy. You must be well fed.
It's not as easy as they make it seem in movies and films. That you just be doing.
And you think that when you are running, you can fire and get. No, that's not it. But bottom line for me is, the policeman should not have made that attempt at all. He has not only ended his own career, he has not only damaged the image of the force, he has also ended his own life.
He killed someone. And
because
he also knew that there were children in the car too. So
no. Did you see that car? That car isn't even supposed to be on the road based on police directive to us. Tinted. I don't know if I'm wrong, if I watch it well.
I didn't notice it was tinted.
I don't know if I'm wrong.
This man is a questionable man, this Mr. Alade.
Maybe I didn't see it well.
Yes, Mr. Dwight.
And even if the police, let us even assume that the policeman did not even know that those children were there. If it was even only the man, you shouldn't have fired. You should have allowed this man to go. They should have allowed him to go. Or the worst case scenario, keep following him until he gets to where he's going. It's been done before.
And you know, this is another thing that...
It's been done before.
You could have, assuming that we had enough men on the road, you know, it's something that you could have, because we see that in movies, where you just radio or call that, okay, a black sedan is coming. Apprehend him.
When last did you see the police holding walkie-talkie in this country? I raised that issue with the chairman of the PTF yesterday.
Oh my God.
These are even the smallest of things that we should have.
You know.
I'm not sure I've seen a policeman with a walkie-talkie in so many years. On the road. Maybe those in the office will have it to receive signal, but on the road, you hardly find it. Because and these are small things that we could have put in place.
Yes, that we see happen.
But do you know that what those people could have done very easily was to detail one vehicle to follow? Should we park? Or is it going to drive?
Plate number and everything.
Let's even say it doesn't have a plate number. It's Tokumbo. Will it drive forever?
You can't drive forever.
So get a vehicle to follow him. If he doesn't stop, don't even damage his car. That is why you see a lot of times, and which I also still complain about. You see the vehicles of our security agents. They are badly damaged, bashed here and there.
Yeah.
And I said it on this program before. I challenged 2 or 3 of them. You are stopping me to check my vehicle. Look at the state of your own. Even at night, you see some of them, they don't have, or they have only one headlamp. All the back accessories, the brake light, the reverse, everything is gone. And you are trying to arrest me that you said one bulb burnt too. And you can see that it got burnt. And that I couldn't have noticed it while driving. So there are a lot of things wrong. But those 2 things are very clear. The father was wrong.
Very wrong.
And the policeman was wrong.
Very wrong.
But the initiative of the Oyo State government to stop people from passing or driving against traffic, which we popularly call one way, is fantastic. It's fantastic. And according to the government, people in that area have been complaining that those who pass through one way are knocking down. And I saw some Nigerians who are trying to justify that stupidity on video, saying, where the man came out from is not very far from where he wanted to enter. They should just have allowed him to go.
Oh, wow. That's what we do now. That's what we do in this country.
And I wonder,
try to justify. What is wrong is wrong.
If these people are from another planet, if they are from the jungle, where everything goes, it's not. And the government has said it. Don't do it. Put out enough warning.
I wonder
put out enough notices.
how many minutes he was trying to save. Is it worth him losing his son over? Even if it's 10 minutes, 5 minutes.
You know that saying. Every day is for the thief.
Exactly.
But this thief now, when he was caught, it has cost us a lot of things. A boy who was writing his final exam in secondary school, even if he's very young, he will be between 15 and 16.
Yes. And imagine how traumatic it must be for his brother who was there.
Who was there? And even calling the father, let's take this boy, and they took them almost 3-4, at least from the one that we saw, with the boy leaning, the short boy leaning on his elbow. It took about 3 minutes before they put him in that car. And then they still went and did what was wrong. They put him in the father's car instead of one of the police vehicles that could easily speed.
The father was more interested in
fighting.
That's why I was saying that if there was a woman at that scene,
that is why
probably have been different, because she won't even concern herself with that fight. It's
for me,
of life.
Men, especially, we need to cool down. Like they will say, be calming down.
Be calming down.
Whether
even
you
if
are
he was having a bad day that day, it does not matter, you know.
Why must you have a bad day in the first place and have a bad day in the presence of your children and against security men?
You know,
you can have a bad day.
That video I keep wondering, like, what is happening here? Is it action film?
He's going to haunt that man for the rest
of his life. But then you know,
because
he's
by
not
now,
the only one involved.
He would have known that.
He's not the only one involved.
And you see, the bad part of it all, the law will not know that he has lost his son. Do you know that?
The law? How?
The law will not know because he's going to pay for that, what he did. He's going to pay for it.
Mm-hmm.
The law will know that he has lost his son, because when people will come up again on social media, the man that they killed his son, they have sent him to prison, they have asked him to go and pay fine. The law doesn't know that. He passed one way. He rode against traffic. He fought security.
Yes. He damaged
their vehicle.
Assault.
That is assault, basic.
Too much.
And for what has happened, he must pay for it, because sentiments will come in now. He shouldn't be punished. We shouldn't do this.
He lost his son. He has been punished enough. But you know.
That for me is a no. Whatever punishment is applicable should be meted to him so that others can learn. Yes, I know something now. For a few weeks, people pass one way, they will do what is right. And when they do it for a few weeks, they will return to it.
Default setting.
But it's a default setting. Don't let my son too die, or don't let policemen shoot me. But they are still going to go back to it, which is very, very, extremely dangerous for us. Basic things. I tell people when they call me here in Lagos and say, do you know anybody in the Ministry of Transportation? They just impounded my car. The first thing I ask, what did you do? If you say to me that, well, I stopped to drop somebody and or I did not know, even if it's a lie, and I made a U-turn somewhere.
But you know that sometimes this one way, sometimes you don't know.
Like this one
there are some places that you won't even know is one way.
This one is very visible. This one is very visible.
Come, hey.
But this one is very visible.
No, this one is a clear case.
Government has said something, and it's applicable worldwide. When you use your Google map, always ensure it is up to date. And some of us have also canvassed. When government is taking certain decisions, including turning roads that are two ways into one way, they should let it be publicized. It's happened to me before. It's happened to me before. That I didn't know that when you go by the police command in Ikeja, here in Lagos, and you want to go towards the military cantonment in Maryland, there is a portion where when you are coming from Maryland, you have to cut off and not come straight. At the time they started the implementation, this was before 2006. I didn't know. And then I rode all the way. Whereas I was stupid when I was driving. I was singing, I was happy, and I was not paying attention to road signs. It was there. But because I'm so used to the area, I kept on driving. Stop! And when I stopped, the first thing I did was,
what did I do?
I said, no, it's one way, you must get to our office. And I got to the office with the man because he insisted. And I explained. I said, I was very happy going to the office. And I passed all your signings without looking at one. Please forgive me. And what was I told? Because when you stay on the road and you argue, there are so many things that can happen. The man in the office saw it. Because I didn't even introduce myself as a journalist. He said, we have just started the implementation that week. Please go. But pay attention and help us to also tell other people that you can tell. We want to make this, we want to sanitize this area. I didn't go there to fight because I was clearly at fault. Why will I be driving and not pay attention to those things? It's important. And that's why we keep saying driving is not just about your ability
to move
the wheel and steer the wheel. It is also your ability to pay attention to road signs. Part time.
Most of the time we don't, just like you said, we were used to the area. Yes. So we don't even think. So most of the time we don't even check to say, oh, I didn't know they put this, I didn't know this is there, you know.
In the Mushin area, when you want to go from main Mushin and you want to go and join the road that goes to the Polytechnic, you have so many one way around the area. There was a day I was confused. You know what I did? I just parked where I knew was. I now walked up to one of the traffic people. Hey, where do I pass? Because you people, I know you are waiting to catch me. The man just started laughing. So okay, it's like this. Then when you get to that place, you start, very good. So I now went on my way. Because I felt that was safer for me. Because I've seen people around that area arrested. But what they have done actually made a lot of sense. Because it reduced traffic drastically.
But you know another thing that I think that they can be doing, but it seems that they are after the enforcement of collecting money. That because you know there are times that you are not, because like you said, sometimes you are confused yourself, like yes. I'm not sure, you know, and like you are, and they are to tell you, they will probably be there waiting for you. They want you to just turn so that they can come and
see those
so
ones.
They can say, no, madam, don't pass there, no, go back. But they won't do that. They will let you enter.
Exactly.
They will now come. Okay, you are passed one way.
Yes.
Why now?
I agree with you on that. Did you hear what I said I did? I said, oh yeah, let's go to the office. That first one. Because I know the people in the office will take time to listen to you. Most of those they sent on the road, they are just boys who see it as an opportunity. I say it very clearly to people, not as a matter of bias, that I'm from a police background. That those who are on the road, their mentality is like that of the revenue collector.
Okay.
You understand? That's their mentality, a revenue collector for government. Even all these other road agencies like the OYRTMA that we are talking about, or the Lagos State Traffic Management Authority in Lagos, that's their mentality. They just want to extort you. It's not all of them, because you must give it to them. But the moment you allow them to, Kukuma, take me to the office, you will resolve it there. Because the man you are going to talk to is perhaps more educated.
That's big.
More educated, because really, some of those guys you even see on the road, it's frustration that made them to take that job with lower rank. Some of them have masters, they have degrees. It's frustration. So when a man is frustrated and you run into a frustrated man, you're also going to become frustrated. So you better go to the office and go and explain yourself. I agree. But if the man says pay your fine, then you go and pay it or contest it, because you have a right to contest it.
Really?
But the one thing that we always look out for, because sometimes it doesn't make sense. How much is your demurrage? If I keep my car here for 2 days before I'm fighting you to ensure that this thing is waived, do I have to still pay the demurrage for leaving my car here? You find out all of those things. So it's important that we also understand that these people, they're also frustrated sometimes.
Yeah.
A man, there was a time we reported a story. Things are changing now. We have some people who had master's degree, PhD. They acquired after joining the police. They did not promote them. They didn't. Because some people at the top, maybe, it's a maybe also. We're threatening that if we push these people up and the world knows that we have some PhD holders in the force who came from being,
why a PhD holder will start from the scratch.
Because when they joined, they didn't have that PhD, or they didn't want to present the PhD because they wouldn't even have taken them in the first place. So they present a lower certificate, get enrolled, then say, oh yeah, I have this. Okay. Because in the process of recruitment, you have the lower cadre, rank and file recruitment, and you have the officer cadre. At some point, even within the police, you have the inspector cadre, you have the ASP cadre. So things have been recalibrated now in the force. So, but basically what I'm saying is, the people that we meet on the road, they're human beings. If I was that man in Ibadan, Mr. Alade, who I wish I can flog myself,
honestly,
I would have stopped. They're human beings. The worst that you happen is that you quickly roll down and say, I'm mommy if I late to school, what if I late exam?
Exactly.
They will tell you, no, that's not an excuse, that your children are going late for exam, it's not an excuse. But you talk to them. And the worst that will happen is, okay, so you people want me to put these children who are going to write exam inside commercial vehicle. Oh yeah, you children, go. And then you can begin to make your case. But not like, I mean, even if he had been allowed to go, he lost a bumper. That bumper can't be less than 200,000 naira now. Is it worth it? The fine you would have paid for that offense may not be more than 50,000 naira. You damage your bumper, you damage your light, you damage other people's vehicles in the process. It's crazy.
You can almost begin to think that is there more to it? Because when we initially heard the news and we heard that they were so-called 419
chasing Yahoo boys.
They were chasing Yahoo boys, so I was like, even if it's Yahoo boy, why is he running to? Or does he have drugs in his car or something like? Why are you running? That you already know how to deal with these people. But to now think that it's a
for me, I even
married man carrying his children
I had
for
my
exams.
reservations about even that Yahoo boy, because I know that most Yahoo boys want to run. Once they acquire that kind of luxury, they can. I'm not promoting bad things. They can find their way.
We know now. It's really sad. It's sad.
I'm pained by what happened. But
very
sincerely, both parties are at fault.
Both parties are indeed at fault. But then
it's a lofty idea to stop one way everywhere. I've been a victim.
Even me.
I've been a victim. So it's a lofty idea.
But if the man was not even in the wrong, if he did not take the wrong way, then we will not even come to the shooting.
And the time he was running around,
I know that time.
Used to turn to take the children properly to school. It's a shame.
Yes, and it is sad, like we said, it is sad because
very, very sad.
And very traumatic, like I said earlier, for the twin brother who witnessed,
for them.
And I can imagine what they would have done to tell the mother at home that this, and then you tell your wife that I was running away, I took one way, and this is the result.
No, we won't say he took one way.
He did.
He said the policeman shot.
Oh, why did they shoot you?
No, we will not say that because we always like to say one side of the story.
Yes, and be sentimental.
I say I'm even ashamed.
Emotional blackmail.
I'm ashamed that the man could speak. I'm ashamed, seriously.
It says a lot about him. Really.
For me, I won't even be able to say anything to the media. No matter what they say to me, I won't be able to. It's a shame.
It's a shame.
You killed your own son and you still have the audacity to be talking. So.
Anyway, as usual, we'll be bringing you more updates because I'm sure that, some things are still going to unfold about this case. I don't know how, but I believe that some things are still going to unfold, and we will definitely bring you the updates. So subscribe so that you get notifications when we come out with the video, and also like and share this video. Share it so that people can learn. You don't do these things. People can learn. You don't behave irresponsibly like this in front of your children, and they were even male children. Okay, so you are saying when you have your own vehicles, this is how you are going to be doing it, or what? Or maybe they were acting a film and we didn't see the camera. That was a joke, really. Anyway, so follow us on all our social media handles in our bio. Go to our bio, see all our social media handles. Follow us, and we'll keep bringing you more updates. See you next time. Bye.
Bye.